Greetings, salutations, it's BiggieJDM, and we are back with another Evo video. Listen, check this out. We are on the way to a very special place. Now, this person has agreed to have a look over our Mitsubishi Evo to see exactly what's wrong with it. Now, we know it's suffering with a gearbox pitchfork 4 fault that only selects odd gears. We know there's an issue with the AYC pump. Is it worth getting fixed? All will be revealed in this episode as we go to Simon Norton at Norton Tuning Solutions. That's where we're going. Let's go. Wow, this is my kind of place. I'm pulling up, I'm seeing Evos, I'm seeing DC5s, I'm seeing some classic cars, mate. Wow. Even the Yaris GR, man. Wow. Let's go in and see if we can speak to Simon. Wow, Jesus. Let's be honest, I'm happy to be here, but apprehensive at the same time, so I'm not sure what Simon's going to tell me. Let's find out. Right, so Simon is having a look at my Evo 10. I know it's pretty worse for wear, we haven't done anything since we brought it. We're just having a little look over the Evo just to see. So obviously what we're trying to ascertain is, we know it's got the gearbox fault, we know the AYC is not working. We want to ascertain whether it's going to be worth getting fixed.
Yeah, I mean, it's been standing for a while, hasn't it?
Yeah.
So, but I mean, we can certainly take it for a run and sort of take it for a bit of a drive out.
Yeah.
And see what's going on with it.
Yeah.
See what it drives like and that.
So, like I say, it only selects 1, 3 and 5.
Oh, broken now. All right.
Yeah. What I normally do is put it in Super Sport.
Yeah.
And then just put it in manual shifting.
Yeah.
And then go from there. And then
yeah.
after we kind of accelerate, well, as it goes up, I just wait for the rev to go down and shift it to third.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, so torque dampener's rattling quite badly, isn't it?
Yes, it is, yeah.
I mean, a good way to test that is handbrake on, put it to drive. Got
It stops. So that's the torque damper, isn't it?
100%.
Yeah.
And then the minute we go back into neutral, then obviously we'll park, then obviously it's back again.
Yeah.
It's very naughty to take up drive as well, isn't it?
Yeah. Stop that annoying noise.
It's the worst of them all.
Yeah.
So yeah, it takes up drive quite aggressively, just snatch quite a bit.
Yes, it was the first time using the flappy pad and I just used the manual shift.
I'm really surprised you got it, because it's quite bad actually. There's properties how it's shifting even in 1, 3 and 5.
Yeah.
Normally it's a bit smoother than that, and the clutch is very, very juddery, taking up drive as well, and snatchy.
Yeah.
So I mean, you can feel it when I just and then it proper snatches in. So I would say that's probably down to the torque dampener mostly. So when we initially switched it on, so I would say that the motor, well, 9 times out of 10 it's the motor that fails on them.
Right, okay. Yeah. That's why I normally let the revs go right down and then change it, yeah. I mean, I guess all the power's there. Like, what do you think? I mean, I actually can't give a...
What do you think power-wise?
Yeah, I mean, for standard engine, I don't know. Like, I know, what's it in now? Is it in Super Sport at the moment? Or?
Oh yeah, that clutch is adding. Yeah, it's the clutches are slipping as well. So in reality, I can't really sort of tell you what the power's like, because essentially I can't put any power down because the clutches are slipping on this. Yeah. Which is, that's quite bad. That's quite bad, to be fair.
Yeah. So, like, Simon, how long have you been doing Evos and everything for? Like, what? I mean, I guess, like, you know, a lot of people speak about you regarding, like, your Evo, being an Evo specialist. Like,
early 2000s, I would say, really. Yeah. When I got my first, first Evo, about 2000. I think it was 2005 or 6, something like that, I think. Yeah. And then, just went from there. I've always been able to build engines and do stuff like that, and you know, and it's just, I'll be like a lot of probably other tuners, I'll be growing into business type scenario. Yeah. You know, that's really about it, to be fair. And obviously we've grown and we've grown and we've grown, and you know, and now we're working on things like GI Yaris's and stuff like that. You know, Evo 10s, well, they were a bit of a surprise to us, you know, and we're working on Evo 10s, and you know,
there's not many people work on to touch the Evo 10s, do you?
No, they don't. No, they don't. To be fair, so you know, especially the gearboxes and stuff like that, which obviously there's no real handbook for them as such, you know, and you know, Mitsubishi just like to replace the complete gearboxes, and you know, it's a black box to them, you know, the gearboxes, but obviously we've had them apart and we've done quite a bit with them so far, so happy days.
Cool. Right, let's jump out then and give a final assessment. The car, I mean, my fear about investing in this, I don't think we've ever spent so much money on a gearbox at all, but my kind of concern with this is you spend all this money on the gearbox and the engine goes, or there's something along those lines here. See, did the engine sound okay? Or?
Yeah, the engine sounds okay. I mean, in reality, you know, if the top end's rattling, or you know, if there's any warning lights on, I mean, they obviously need to be investigated, but because the clutches are slipping so bad, I can't even put it under wide open throttle really to sort of test if the car pulls very well, you know. And I mean, it's very difficult to sort of say, oh yeah, it's hunky-dory, you know. It's all down to how the car's been looked after and serviced and stuff like that, you know. So but again, that gearbox is pretty bad. Yeah, it's pretty bad. I think it's probably one of the worst. It's been up there for one of the worst really for drivability. Even when shift fork number 4 drops off, they still drive considerably better than that, and that's got everything going. It's got, you know, not selecting gears, it's got like clutch judder, clutch slip, you know, torque damper is banging and rattling, so I think that is totally added, that has.
Really?
Yeah. But from engine point of view, I think really just if you just service them regular, I think you know, happy days, leave it at that. I mean, are you going around the track with it and stuff like that?
No. I've got track cars for doing stuff like that. It's just, this is just for going to shows with and back. And just maybe just making it look a bit smarter. And that's it. Just staying standard too, not even trying to map it or anything.
Okay, fair enough. So so what I would do is obviously we'd do the gearbox. Upgrade the software, do a reteach on it, you know. Obviously service the gearbox and everything like that, service transfer box and that, because obviously it's coming off fine anyway. And then run it out and see how it goes really. Do you know what I mean? It's like so and just do that really. So.
No, it looks that seems to be the one. Well, and obviously regarding the AYC, you just normally plug them in.
So I mean, in reality, I mean, you switch ignition on you, the motor drive, and you know, makes pressure. I can't even hear anything on that. So I mean, in reality, what we will do is pull out the AYC relay, put some power down there, see if we can make the motor drive on its own. Because, like I said, 9 times out of 10, it's the motors that fail electronically and the burnout. And in reality, that. It's just not a great part. It's that motor, the electric motor, and they're very hard to come across. And you know, so normally it's either new AYC pump, or if we can try and find, we're still looking for a supplier. We used to be able to get brand new electric pumps, but obviously we can't get them no more. But so
can you repair the old pumps? Can you?
Yes, they can. Thing with AYC pumps on Evo 10s is that they like to rot out in comparison to the early ones, you know, so you can find you in a situation whereas the body rots out a lot worse. But obviously if you've got oil in that corner and the body's that rotted, then it's lob it in the bin time, to be fair. Start with a new unit.
I guess you know, you can drive it without an AYC, like I did with my last Evo 10, but then again, when you come to set it on, it's probably more desirable if it has an AYC, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you can feel the driving characteristics, like the difference. I mean, even in my 8, when my AYC pump went, it just felt more understeery, you know, in comparison to with the AYC pump one.
Okay, so we just had a quick talk with Simon off camera, and we might be working a deal out. But in the meantime, he showed me his FN2. Imagine I've come here to talk about Evos, and we end up looking at an FN2. Let's just have a little look at this, eh? Wow. Oh wow. And if you truly want to know what's underneath that car cover, you're going to have to tune into tomorrow's episode. Yes, I know, but it's not long to wait. It's at 6 p.m. where Simon introduces me to one of the most insane FNTs you would ever see in your life. How he's got it up to that power, I don't know. But what I do know, tomorrow's episode will reveal all. This one is definitely for the Honda fans. We'll see you then. Remember, like, share, subscribe, tell a friend, big yourself. If you can't, be careful. Drive safe on the road and tell someone that you love her before you go to bed. Biggie who, Biggie what, Biggie when. We don't just talk it, we live it. We'll see you then.